Show the blood.
We're going to start our meeting. Lisa is finally in with her video, so yay, Lisa. Today is February 26, 2025. Welcome to the Greater-Rochester-Camera-Club critique on warmth. We are excited to have you guys in with us tonight. 9 images, which is not a huge amount, but that's okay. We're glad that people took the chance and tried something different. Elaine and I were talking that warmth was a little more challenging than expected. Yeah. So at least I don't know how we decided on this one, but we did. And
I don't know either. I was just talking about this with Eric. I said, kind of like the same thing as who the hell picked green in March?
Is that we have for March? No, we don't.
Well, remember last year was green,
last year.
Or the year before. I'm like, who the hell picked green in March?
St. Patrick's Day makes perfect sense.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, we're excited either way. So we do have some exciting news, even though there's only 7 of us on. I'll share it anyways. We do have, in June, a vice president and a president stepping in. Bonnie is going to take on shows, so thank you, Bonnie. She's on right now. And Robin, who will be on in a little bit, is going to take on joining the outings committee, which she had offered to do VP, but felt that outings was definitely more up her alley, so we are excited. And we're going to toss around the idea of maybe put out a survey about changing the day of the week of critique to see if that would jive with people's schedules. Because Matt is offering, but Wednesdays aren't going to work for him. We're just going to we'll talk to leadership and see how we want to move forward. And like, for example, like tonight, I didn't realize or the 11th, I didn't realize was going to affect Seacoast, so I apologize to the Seacoast people for us double booking. They gave us 2 choices, and I was unavailable both of the choices. The other 2 choices they gave us. That's all right. We'll do the best we can. Sometimes we get double booked. So we are excited to get started tonight. I don't think I have any other news. Next month in person is Ben on off-camera lighting, which I'm super excited about. You guys got big eyes.
That's me.
That's you. That's you. And Ben has also stepped in tonight to host critique, so thank you very much for doing that as well. When we launch our images, you'll have about 30 seconds to talk about your picture, and then the team will talk about it for about 5 minutes, giving you some positive feedback and some suggestions on how we can improve your image. Any questions?
Speaking of launching images, I will need permission to share screen.
Oh, you sure will. You sure will. Did I miss anything, Lisa? Oh, the outing. Our next outing is coming up for, I think it's March 22nd.
March 22nd, yep. Hopefully we still have snow. If we don't still have snow, we'll at least have ice and melting, which makes for pretty river pictures and so forth and so on. So email Deb if you're interested in going. Right now it's kind of a conflict with the NHPPA, so that could present an issue. But we'll see how many people we get go.
Tell everybody to bring their crampons and hiking poles.
I think we put that in the, well, I don't think we put hiking poles, but I know we put crampons.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was in the post.
Probably was, but
yep.
It rings home to me. I went there on March the 18th last year.
I was there in March last year too.
Yeah. And it was wonderful down here, dry and, well, muddy, but no snow. And we inched our way from the parking lot to Diana's baths.
Okay.
Yeah, as I said, I was there in March last year too. I was at least along the Kangamangas in March last year.
All right, are we ready?
I think we are ready. You should have the screen sharing ability.
I do.
All right.
All right.
Take it away, Mr. Kramer.
First up, we have Elaine Boyd.
Where the hell's my timer? Log. Start. Elaine, you're on. There you go. You was muted.
My husband came in and I muted myself. So warm was hard. So this was an idea that I had. I knit I collect yarn more than I knit. So this is hand-dyed wool yarn, and I figured what's better indicator of warmth than wool. So there we go. The name of the color of the yarn is Autumn Brew. So, and I love the name of the company. The name of the company is Bad Sheep Yarn. It's a small company. They were based in Alaska. Now they are in Florida. I sound like a commercial. Anyway, so I decided to play with a little bit of an abstract, and also there's some leading lines in there. That's it.
Love the colors. I think the colors are warm.
Yeah,
That too.
yeah,
Yep.
use of the warm colors.
Yeah, with the orange and the yellow and yep,
And the red, right?
yep.
Colors remind me of flames, which also makes me think of warmth and heat. I thought about yarn as well.
Mhm.
My other choice, which I'll post on our Facebook page, was a candle. I was like, oh my goodness, I think everybody's gonna do. And then there was a candle in the flyer for warmth. It's like, okay, no.
Yep.
I was gonna do the candle, but decided not to.
Texture's great.
Yep, texture and the detail.
You want
what
to
other
using a
inputs do
macro
you have?
lens?
Yes, I did.
I love the texture. I love the pattern of the strands of wool. The one thing that gets in my way a little bit is the highlights on the individual fibers. You know, there's a few fibers that are just, unfortunately, because they're so bright. Yeah, that one, there's one over on the right-hand side. Those I find a little distracting, but you know, I mean, I love I love the overall pattern of it, and the colors are I feel warm and fuzzy just looking at them.
Well, thank you for the feedback. I'll definitely go back and I have several different color hanks, and one of the pictures I took had a really long strand, and I definitely would have edited that one out. But yeah, I'll go back and touch that up. But I like it, but obviously I took the picture, but thank you.
And that's the thing that I would say, be very conservative with. Like maybe this long one, maybe this curved one, maybe this one up here,
Yep.
but you could easily go overboard trying to remove all of these,
Oh, God, yeah.
and doing so would kind of detract from the real texture of it.
Yeah, you want some of them, but there's
Yeah.
just a couple that drag my eye right to them.
Mhm.
You know, that left corner a little bit, it's a little bright. So just keep in mind, like your eye can go to the brightest part. So my eye keeps catching up there, and I want it to go back. I really like how it's really dark on the opposite corner of the light corner. So just maybe tone that down a tiny bit, just that tiny, that corner.
Yeah, I did try putting a pinhole on it, and I didn't like it. But
It's hard when the color is really bright, because when you start to bring it down, it starts to look gray and not
Yeah.
quite as true to color anymore.
How did you light this?
I actually got for Christmas 2 little cube lights, and I had the diffuser on them, so like the little white foamy thing, and then I had one on either side, kind of pointing down on it.
Hmm.
I'm playing with my off-camera lighting.
Uh-huh.
Looking forward to next month, or yeah, next month.
Yep.
And that would be 5 minutes.
Well done, Elaine.
Thank you.
Yep. Shoot, stop.
All right. Next up, we have Bonnie.
I spent the last 3 weeks in Florida. And you would think that I would have found some beautiful sunsets, and I never saw a really good one the whole time I was there. It was nice and warm, but not good sunsets. I did go to this botanical gardens though, and they had this amazing exhibit with all of these animals made out of Legos.
Oh, my God.
Oh, cool.
And these polar bears are actually 112,000 bricks.
Wow.
You were just each one was more beautiful than the next as you were walking around and walking through. And I went through all my pictures and I thought, there's really nothing that does warm. And then I looked at this and I said, well, wait a minute, what's a polar bear doing in warm Florida?
Mhm.
So I kind of grabbed that, and then I thought about the fact that the polar bear is losing his environment due to the warming of the planet. And so I just thought this was a nice dichotomy. I think the artist put the little stones in there to look like the ice cap.
Can't imagine building those things. How many
Oh.
were there?
There was probably 20,
Oh,
and there was a huge dragonfly in a pond, and tucked in the woods there was a fawn and her baby and a buck in the back. I mean, it was just, you had to look everywhere you went because there was stuff tucked away everywhere. It was really quite impressive.
Wow.
I love your interpretation of the theme.
Yeah, I like that. Mhm.
We have any inputs on editing?
I would say tone down the highlights in the back a little bit. That's my opinion. It was sunny, I'm assuming. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Of course. Where was it, Bonnie?
Fort Pierce, which is, let me think, it's kind of below Sebastian.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
on
know
the-
what that is.
It's on the East Coast,
Uh-huh.
coast.
Amazing what they do with Legos. Unbelievable.
They had some flat ones, and the first few we saw were flat ones. We're like, wow, that's really amazing. And then we started seeing the animals, and it was just one man did this.
Wow.
Can't imagine how long it took him. This one, he said, took him 389 hours to build.
Wow.
Oh,
They had little plaques next to each one of them, so I took pictures of all the plaques.
such a nice contrast, like the polar bear almost kind of looks like superimposed on the background.
Yeah.
Like the background looks fake. It's so,
Yeah.
the background's beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it was like an AI or, yeah, superimposed in it. It's cool.
Because your background looks so beautiful, it looks fake. It's lovely.
Yeah, we talked about going there, and then I was thinking, there's not really a lot of flowers that are out right now. How nice can this botanical gardens be? And there wasn't a lot of flowers, but it was just beautiful because of all of the animals that were in there.
Very neat.
My input here as far as cropping, you've got a lot of not necessarily empty, but still feels kind of empty space over here.
Mhm.
And this root or branch down here
Yeah,
kind of pulls attention a little bit. So we just bring this in a little bit,
okay,
we get the face here a little closer to the third,
yeah.
and that helps it out, I think.
That's a nice suggestion.
I like that. I did crop it some on the left side because there was another piece of wood that was in there that had wire on it or something. I don't know, but I like that better, what you did. Yeah.
Makes me want to take a trip down there. I've been trying to figure out someplace to go for a weekend.
Oh, that would be it's a nice place. And it's near There's another nice beach that's right up the road from there. That's nice. It has a lot of nice little restaurants and stuff and nice area. Actually, we stayed at a campground because we were camping. We stayed at a campground that was a winery. And they have
Nice.
music, every Wednesday through Sunday nights. So they have like a little venue that you can go and just sit down and listen to music. It was quite nice.
Where was
Nice.
this again?
Fort Pierce.
That was 5 minutes too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
Just the
Oh.
fact that somebody actually did that.
I know. Everyone we looked at was like, oh my God, another one. Huh?
All right.
Amazing.
Next up, we've got William.
Oh,
That just made me feel warm inside.
Oh.
Whose is this?
William Capozzi.
Oh, he's not here tonight. I just him come in. Did you see him in?
I don't have food.
this is
Well,
what I was
Will?
looking to do with my grandpuppy, but I didn't have the opportunity. Oh my God.
We're gonna
Yep.
assume that Will has a new puppy.
All right, so we are not going to hear a story because they're not here. So what inputs do we have?
I want it.
I enjoy other people's puppies.
I do as well. So for a little bit of feedback, I think that the face could use a little bit of lifting in the shadows. You're kind of losing the dimension of his eyes, at least from like where I'm looking at right now. Like that whole top of the crown of his head's a little bit dark over her head. So maybe if that like the shadows maybe lifted up in that area or brightened up a little bit so you could see the edges of his eyes. Something along those lines, yeah.
All right, so I've lifted that.
Black dogs are so hard to photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shiny fur, so I just want to like, you know,
Yeah, and maybe touch up the dust spots. There's
mm,
one that's one on top of the nose that's like, and then a couple, like little flicks of dandruff just above the nose in the area that just got light and the shadows brought up some.
yeah. And when you get dark fur, those things stand out. Mm.
Oh, you take it under all the dandruff?
Just a
That
couple
could
to
take a
show-
while.
It
Oh
could,
yeah, that would be easier done in a different piece of software than this.
but it does help to get rid of it.
But yeah, those are definitely noticeable. What else? I would get rid of that little one there. Like the other, dirt is fine, but that one, that large speck there kind of pulls. Any other inputs?
I would say only in cropping, just that bottom right corner just kind of pulls my eyes. Just how the bed is positioned, like just
Mhm.
when looking at the face, it just kind of slightly pulls down to that corner.
I would say instead of cropping that out, because trying to crop that out is really going to bring you in too
Maybe not
close.
cropping, but like a vignetting it just to pull you. Yeah. Yep, that helped.
I want to hug them.
I know.
Well, he definitely looks warm and snuggly.
All right. Anything else?
Good job, Will.
All right. Nothing else, sir. Are we okay to move on?
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we have Matt.
Okay, so this was taken yesterday on my way to pick up the dog from doggy daycare. And I'd say either Barrington or Lee, one of those areas. I knew I had to get something in for the week, and I've been struggling trying to find it, and just schedule wasn't allowing to kind of go out, and my school vacation was cold as anything. So I saw kind of on the way home, just like the kind of the slight cloud coverage, and I wanted that little haze to it, almost as if like after a frigid winter, the sun, and yesterday being one of the warmer days we've had, and following into today, that warmth finally breaking through the winter. And I wanted a full sunset, but looking at the map, that sun was going to go down way to the right of this. But I always passed this pond and whatnot, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this. So I pulled off, and my goal was the warmth, but my secondary goal was actually including foreground. So I was taking little things and just like, okay, spent about a good like 20-25 minutes on the side of the road on a busy bridge, trying different things, and this is what I got.
I do like your foreground.
Thank you. So that is actually like I had to crouch down, and that's actually under the guardrail. Like I had the camera down, like so if like a little bit up, you would have seen a lot more guardrail.
Is that the reservoir on Route 9?
Yes, I believe so. On that side, it's got that, and then on the other side of the bridge, like there's just like the water, and then like trees and woods in the back. I think it's Route 9.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think it is.
But I drive by it all the time when I go to pick the dog up, and I'm like, I need to stop here someday.
All right. What sort of inputs do we have? If any.
You can see the meaning of warmth. The sun feels warm, the reflection on the water feels warm. It feels like early in the day or late in the afternoon, like you had suggested, or you said the time of day matched. So even though it's a frozen lake, you can still feel the warmth in it.
Kind of makes me feel that spring is coming, and it almost looks like the ice is starting to melt with the sun reflecting on it like that.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like the sun is starting to, it looks like where the sun is really shining on the lake, that it's wet. So the promise of melting in spring.
Yeah, yeah.
Something I just did here to reinforce it a little bit is just bump up the white balance a little bit to give it a little more warmth.
So I was playing with that, and I didn't want it to go too like superficial. So it was like I was trying to, but yeah, no, I like that. Yeah.
It's something you have to, be careful with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played with a little bit, and I was like, okay, that's unrealistically warm. That's too cool. It's finding that like, how can I emphasize that warmth of the sun glow, but not make it look like Independence Day coming through the clouds?
Maybe it's just a trick of the perception, or maybe it's actually there, but I think it almost feels a little green here on the ice. but that could just be my perception of it.
Try to adjust the tint slider a little bit and see if you can get some of that green out.
Let me reset this.
Going to purple pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You're right though, it's that fine balance of just enough before it gets too far.
Yeah.
Did you try any of the presets that in Lightroom that they already have, like cloudy or daylight?
Yeah, I
Mountain?
know I looked at a couple presets, in like the recommended, like I just clicked the warm tab and just kind of saw what they had. There was one that I really liked, but I wanted to push myself to try and I made a copy of the photo in Lightroom, so I was kind of doing it side by side or looking at it, but I wanted to try and recreate the preset without using the preset.
Yep.
Just to kind of push myself a little bit. It's not where the preset was, but I'll post the preset one and this one in the Facebook, just to the one that I liked, because it kind of gave that more superficial glow, but it was like, okay, that made that photo so much better. But I wanted to at least challenge myself for at least this challenge to try and do it without using a preset.
So in Lightroom, when they under white balance, it will just shift your white balance. Not really a preset. It's just gonna balance out the white tone versus doing a recommended preset that would affect all of like global images. It just affects your tones and white. So then go back to so see how he's in the white balance tool right now?
Yep.
If he clicks maybe on auto, it might make everything much more blue.
Oh, okay.
So it's just trying to find the white point in the image and make it the most accurate based on the external lighting or the ambient lighting.
You're talking about white balance preset.
Yes, white balance preset.
Not
so
preset preset.
Daylight. Correct. Just the white
okay,
balance.
I misunderstood that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so uploading it goes as shot, and then I'll hit auto, see where it's at, and then I'll go to daylight and cloudy and see where I kind of want to find that medium ground.
Yep.
But yeah, white balance has kind of been what I've been playing with different photos, just like where do I find that?
Are you shooting a gray card?
Not yet.
Get a gray card. You can print them out. I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Carry it around with you. It's hard to remember to put into your images, but it does help.
That was 5 minutes.
All right.
Thank you all for the input.
Thank you for sharing your image.
Next up is Robin Barber.
Is she on yet?
No. Is she going to be late?
She's actually going to be in just around now. She's not here quite yet.
All right, we can come back to her.
All right.
Okay.
Skipping
Skipping to Lisa.
Oh.
So this was a tough challenge because I've been doing nothing but shooting cold stuff all month, not warm stuff. So I was at the Lakes Region Ice Racing last weekend, not last weekend, the weekend before. And this little girl was being pulled around by her parents. And I asked if I could take her picture. And they said yes. And she was just so bundled. I don't even think she couldn't move. She was so stiff. She was so bundled up. But it was a cold day and she was definitely warm. So I don't have any idea who she is. No idea. Just like the picture.
Another one of those snuggly pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had nothing. I said, I've been doing nothing but shooting cold all month.
I want that hat.
I love the cheeks.
Yeah.
What a cutie.
good white balance. Your snow is definitely white, not gray.
You're taking out spots?
Just that one big one up there off by itself.
There's one up in the other corner too.
Yeah,
I
this
had a
one,
spot,
this one
I had a
blends
spot,
better.
I had a spot on my camera. And
your
I thought
sensor?
I had taken most of them out, but I had a piece of dust on it.
Yeah, the only reason I went for that one is because it really stands out.
Yeah, that may have been my piece of dust.
Maybe it'd be worth taking that one out and that one, but
Did you
subjective.
get their phone number to send it to them?
No, I didn't. No. No. Said she does have a little tear coming out of her eye, and I don't know if it was because of crying or because of being cold.
Oh,
Oh.
Little tear, little tear.
Ah.
Yep. But yeah, she was just so freaking cute.
Any other inputs?
Nice picture.
Thanks.
Adorable picture.
Yeah.
And she's warm.
wow.
Lisa, what time of day was it?
What
Was it
time
later-
of day was it?
Later in the afternoon?
No, it was probably about like maybe noonish
Huh.
ish. I'm not sure. I think we got it, but 12:30 probably, because we got up to the races about 11:30. Why?
I just, her skin tone has a nice warm glow to it. And I was thinking, wonder if she caught that at golden hour or just at the beginning, late after.
Yeah, no. I think she was just so cute, so therefore she's glowing. Yeah, no, middle of day, midday.
Didn't have any
Yeah.
harsh lighting though, so that's nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't even remember if it was. I don't think it was. Definitely wasn't full sun. It was definitely cloudy. Clouds in and out. I'm trying to think if I did. I think I did the white snow. I think I did go up one notch. Too, as he said in his talk, to get the white snow.
Yeah.
All right. Any other inputs or questions?
No, we can move on.
All right.
Thanks.
And next up, we have Monique.
So I didn't have a real good plan. I also thought warm was really challenging. So I watched a lot of videos on YouTube about lighting and photography, and so today I decided to try out steam. So that's just really, really hot tea. And I probably put it into that cup 3 or 4 times and just photograph, move the light around several times in order to catch steam coming up. And it's off camera lighting as well. So I'm trying it out the best I can. Definitely, I got some reflectors going in there to bounce some light back in to light up the front of the cup. And to the side of the cup, I also put in a styrofoam reflector off the side of that and it brings some light back in.
Do you have a honeycomb on your light?
I do have a honeycomb on the light. Oh, you can totally see the reflection. Oh, what a good find. Wow. That's funny. I do. It's right behind me. It's facing the window, though. It's not really helpful. You can see it.
It seems like you captured the vapor quite well too, I'd say. I don't know. I mean, how much was there, but it's good.
Thank you. I did darken the background to
Mhm.
make it stand out. I chose a really poor background, so it's still set up behind me, so you can see like it's kind of pink. It was a little too textured to catch the smoke or the steam. So I just darkened the background in order to make that stand out a little bit better. But I probably took like 30 pictures just in the difference, like waiting for it to plume enough to photograph.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like you have a textured background just because
I
of what I'm
do,
seeing
yeah.
outside of that, and that's detracting a bit from the steam that you're trying to catch.
Yep, next time I will definitely do a darker background.
I would say I'd like to see the teacup more centered.
I had it centered and I decided to kick it off center.
Yeah.
So I could recenter it.
I like it where it is, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
whatever.
subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try center a lot of things, so I've been trying really hard to off center a little bit. And I kept thinking it looked crooked, so I still keep thinking it's crooked. I know my liquid looks crooked.
I think your plate, if it's handmade, you might not be able to get it straight.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's off to the side a little bit on the rim of this indent. That might have been pushing it sideways a bit, but
I also could have like literally had just finished putting in liquid and was clicking the camera. Also could have happened. Because I think there's got a bubble on that one as well, right?
yeah, there is.
Yeah. So it could have just literally
That's-
for it.
I mean, that's okay. I would say a bubble is okay.
I like the way that bottle or whatever it is over to the right side of it comes out with I think you got the light just right on there with the way that it's showing up. It really adds the whole to the whole image. Yeah.
So where Ben has zoomed in, you can see where the background didn't darken. You see between those two buttons.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was
So when
wondering
I
what
did
that
a
was.
background select, it must not have caught that. So I could go back in there with a brush and tidy that up.
Hmm.
This was one of
Ah.
my ideas and I didn't quite get to it.
They had said
Yeah.
to put the light diagonally behind the scene in order for the light to catch it enough. That was what I was trying to say.
So there's something to remember that Monique just said. If you're going to use masking tools to adjust parts of your image, especially with detailed images where there's pockets of the background poking through things, you need to pay attention to that kind of stuff because I was literally yesterday, day before, I was looking at a post for a local business that was advertising, hey, come to our casino. And I looked at the pictures and two of them had very clear background replacement work going on. Badly masked hair, things like that. I would say if you're, trying to be a professional and, doing professional editing work like that, things like that, people will notice. And that will probably drive them away. So just pay careful attention when you're using those kind of tools so you're not missing things like that. With this, I almost thought it was like some kind of like apparatus that this stuff was attached to, and it probably went to bed a bit before I realized that that was an editing issue. If you hadn't said anything, I might not have noticed, but
Told on myself.
Yep.
That's all right.
but
So
yeah,
the
be
buttons are supposed
careful
to look
with
like
those.
flowers.
Yeah, be careful with those tools because
Yep.
they can bite you if you're not.
That was 5 minutes.
Thank you for the feedback. I I can't believe you can see the reflection of the spoon.
It's clear.
Yeah, right?
It's like,
Tripod.
yeah, even out here, I was like, wait, why is there some texture there? That's weird. Okay.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Dan.
That's cool.
This started out as I wanted to do a steaming cup of hot chocolate, and I just wasn't getting the steam. So I looked at a YouTube video, and it said, if you're having if you to get used to this, use smoke. So I tried a stick of incense, which did not make any smoke, and or nothing that I could photograph. So I have this is a sage smudge stick, which led to the title that I gave it, Echo of an Ancient Campfire. Yeah, there's problems with the background. I don't have a small enough light box, and I wasn't going to wrestle a big one. So I got a lot of light spilling over onto the background. But I'm pleased with the way the smoke came out. I caught the smoke. That's the first step. And the sticks of sage are, there's nothing artistic. They're kind of, disheveled. They're a mess. But my emphasis was on capturing the smoke for this, and it was fun. It was fun playing with off-camera lighting. I bought a whole lot of lighting equipment, and I'm slowly learning how to use it.
I like that there's still notable color down here that kind of helps inform you of what it actually is. I think I see part of the background issue you were
Yep,
talking about.
yep.
There's a bit of a line across there. I don't know if I can do anything to make that more noticeable, but it's there.
The light modifier I'm using, there's I have a mag mod. It looks like a scoop, and I was struggling to make it more directional. A lot of light was spilling over from that onto the background. So
Yeah, that's something I think I'd have to verify, but I feel like I always see smoke the best when the morning sunlight is shining in. So I'm wondering if more direct, harsh light is better for smoke. But I don't know. That's something I'd have to experiment with.
Well, we can try again next month because we'll have off-camera lighting.
no, I'm not going to be here for that one.
But you'll be here for the next challenge, which is going to be about off-camera lighting.
Oh, I got a leg up.
You do have a
Spoiler.
leg up. Well, I would have announced anyways at the end of the night anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing is, if my Photoshop skills were better, I would have tried. This was a tripod shot, so I would. The YouTube videos showed how to merge a couple of images. Somebody had one image where they got the steam right, and it was a food photograph, and so they, using masks and overlays, they got the steam from the one exposure. That what they used to make the steam was a hot steaming cotton ball. And they masked that out so that the whatever food object that they were doing was there. I could have done that with the embers. I really wanted to get the embers glowing, so that would be a composite. But that's beyond my capabilities right now.
Yeah. And that's, it's certainly a valid technique, and it's, some of the techniques that help people succeed in business. Everyone, of course, has to make their own decision as far as how much compositing and editing they're willing to put into a photo, what they, still consider a photo, a valid effort, that kind of thing. That's a discussion that could be had, but certainly an option. I think compositing is something especially useful with off-camera lighting, and there's a part of that I talked about last time that I'm probably going to talk about this time as well. But yeah, there's a lot of techniques you can use to make interesting photos.
Another thing is there's no control over this, or very minimal control over the smoke. So you have to, practice waving your hands. I have a whole series of abstract images of just the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Hope it's fun to photograph. Tricky.
I like it.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
This is one of those times where, a lot of times I'll pull something up in Lightroom and click auto. And if you click auto on this one, it brings up the background. It's like, no, undo.
Right.
Yeah, there's so many ways you could edit this. So many tricks you could do. And you mentioned, bringing out the background. There's tricks you can learn for your editing to use adjustment layers to make things more visible. Like if I were to make this background super visible, that would reveal some of the minor issues in it.
Yeah, like that dust spot a third of the way down on the left.
Mm-hmm. But you can actually use that as a sort of guide for additional editing layers, and then remove that guide. But that's outside the scope of tonight.
That was 5 minutes.
All right.
Thank you very much. That was fun.
I like it.
All right. I don't see Robin.
I don't see Robin either.
So next up is going to be me. And the fun thing is this picture that I took is more or less being recreated down here to my left on the floor.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my goodness.
What
That's
a
nice.
cutie.
He's
I
in a
love it.
different position right now, but it's when it's cold up here, I'll start that space heater going, and when I make enough room on the floor, the cats love to just lay in front of that. So I set out a blanket, and that's where this one will lay. If he's not in front of the wood stove downstairs, he's in front of the space heater up here. So put the camera on a little tripod, got nice and low. This is actually a 1 second exposure because the flame effect is animated, and I kind of wanted to have that blurred out a bit. So yeah, 1 second exposure, if that's even in here. It's not. And yeah, that's where he loves to lay.
Oh, I like it.
Nice warm ambient light.
Is it ambient light, or did you have some?
Yeah, it is ambient light. Either I think there was some light coming in through the window. I have a desk lamp that was on as well, probably, but for the most part, it was ambient light. Do you have any inputs?
If I could go back in time, I would shut the door on the fireplace.
I would have too. Yeah, I realized that after a number of shots and be like, you know what, that's annoying.
Oh,
Should have just shut that.
I say that, and mine it's shut, but it was open all day, so I get it.
But the thing is, if I had done that, it would have disturbed the cat,
There you go. True.
and then he would have moved, and then I would have had to wait another 10 minutes for him to settle down again.
Definitely nice and straight. Looking at that fireplace.
Yeah.
The door open is a little distraction, but I don't think it's bad.
It could have been worse. There's editing here. This is the
Oh,
original. So yeah, that's the original. And this is the edit.
there you go.
I wonder, could you lighten up the cat's face a little bit more along the lines of what you did to the back? You know,
Yeah, I could. Let's see, what would I use for that? Let's grab our exposure and turn that up just a little bit and make a mask of it. Yeah, so that's before and after.
I kind of like it a little bit
Yeah.
brighter.
Yeah, no, that's a good edit.
if you close the door on the furnace, would you
Mhm.
still see a similar level of detail of the fire animation?
You would still see it. There's bars and a clear cover over it, so you would still see it behind that, but it would be slightly obscured with the bars in front of it. But you also wouldn't see these controls here.
Right.
But there would be a big metal spring handle thing over
mhm.
here.
Well, I'm looking at it like it's a TV set, and it's an image of the Northern Lights over molten lava. It looks
Mhm.
cool.
Great description. Very nice then.
Thank you.
What's the cat's name?
Ghost.
Perfect.
yep, that is about
He's
5
there
minutes.
right now. Yeah, like I said, he's there right now. And the other one's on my lap.
Very.
Yeah,
Right.
That is, yep.
Thank you. I still don't see Robin. So I
No,
guess
well, we'll just, she was celebrating her daughter's birthday, wasn't, just hoping to get home around 7, so we gave her some time. It's okay. She'll appreciate us waiting.
all right. We've got a little bit of steam going on. We've got a very bright fire back there. A lot of good light hitting this blanket. We've also definitely got some foreground light hitting this mug.
No, she's got some nice steam coming off of the mug. I like it. Says warmth for me.
I like the mug.
Yeah, the mug is cool.
There's some
Ooh,
kind of editing issue going on there. It looks like there was a mask done to brighten up the inside of the mug. And the mask didn't quite get it all. Um, I feel like this is not real.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He has
Yeah,
some good
and given-
Lightroom skills. I bet it could be not real.
Well, especially considering the intense light from the rear from the fire. I do wish that fire was a little bit dimmer. And yeah, I don't see how you could have gotten that steam in the photograph with that much light coming off of the fire.
Well, I wonder where the other light source is coming from. So we can see that the mug is very well lit.
Mhm.
I'm wondering where that light source is coming from that could have illuminated the steam. But
We
I
do see
agree,
some.
like,
Go ahead.
you can finish.
There's definitely some highlight here on the handle that there's definitely, you know, a foreground light hitting this.
Yeah.
If these are natural, which they look like they probably are, you know, that's another highlight from a light source. It might be off-camera lighting. It might be just an ambient room light. So things to watch out for, you know, if you are gonna bump up the brightness on something like this, you got to be careful of these other highlights not becoming too harsh.
The only other thing I would say is the blue kind of in the over the mug near the fire, the wood stove. Yeah.
Right. I would say that's probably a natural lens flare effect. That could be either on the glass in front of the fire if it's reflecting off of a window off to the right.
Yep.
Or if, you know, this is an added off-camera light, that could be a reflection of that.
Yeah, it might be something tricky to remove, so.
Yeah. Given what I would recommend for something like that, because you have, you know, all of this steam effect going on, you could potentially desaturate that and have it just appear to be part of whatever else is going on here. I'm gonna guess that this is a lens, like an in-lens flare reflection. And I believe Robin just joined us.
I did. How about that?
Oh, perfect timing.
I know. How about that? I couldn't have timed it better if I tried.
Well, you were our last one. You actually popped up a little bit early and we pushed you to the end.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So you were asking about a lens flare?
Let's start off if you want to tell us a little bit about your image. Let's get
Okay.
that 30-second spiel.
Am I starting 5 minutes over again?
No.
Just because it's about ready to go off. It's been 5 minutes. So what am I
give her
doing?
2 more minutes, maybe.
Okay. Yep, I can do that.
That seems fair enough.
Okay, so I was going to try to do an outside picture of somebody warming by the fire, but it was too cold and that didn't happen. So next thing is that we have a pellet stove. So I set up my cup of tea with a blanket in front of the pellet stove. Was a little bit of a challenge to get because I wanted it more dark and moody. So I kind of had to underexpose it and then even underexpose it a little bit more in Lightroom.
How did you do the steam?
So I did capture the steam and I had to kind of enhance it a little bit more because it was a nice hot cup.
We thought with your savvy skills that you might have photoshopped it.
No, well, I enhanced it more in Photoshop. So I kind of blew it up, kind of cut that piece, made a copy of the steam, used a free transform, and moved it around that way.
Okay. So some of the things that we were noticing,
Uh-huh.
the lighting looks great, you know, especially the warm light off this blanket from the fire. There's some interesting lens effects going on with, I assume this is some lens flare from the fire just reflecting in your lenses. Some issues, whatever you did with either making this the inside of your mug brighter or darkening everything else, your mask fell
Uh-huh.
apart a little bit here. And I'm gonna guess that you made this part brighter, just because of the noise levels in it.
Yes.
You need to be careful of these little highlights reflecting off of whatever lighting was behind the mug, because these are very harsh and very noticeable.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even notice that. I'm glad you pointed that out.
The steam, I was curious if this was brushed in just because it looked a little unnatural, but you say it was real, and I believe you.
Yeah. I highlighted it, I copied it, and then I free transformed it, and I put an extra
Mhm.
blur on it.
Okay.
That was
What
it.
other inputs do we have?
Everybody's quiet now.
Yeah.
We talked about the fire being a little bright in the background, and then someone had questioned a little bit of the blue that's on the next to the fire, that maybe that could have been a light or a window, whatever that could have just been a lens flare.
The fire was a bit hard. I actually had to tone down the fire a little bit, so that was one that I even had to mask that area separately and bring the highlights down even more. And then it threw off a lot of red out of the fire for some reason. So in Lightroom, I highlighted that area and decreased the reds as well. So that was tough. So it could very well be because the fire actually has so much red in it that it could have even been throwing red outside of the fire, outside of the pellet stove too.
We also definitely screamed warmth as well.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's hard to think warm when it's freezing cold outside.
Agreed.
That was 2 minutes, 5 minutes,
7 minutes.
whatever it was.
Well, I'm glad you were able to hop on at the end, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out just right. Yeah, I came running across the street as quick as I could.
Not too many images tonight, but they were all great. They all had a different take on warmth. You gotta check out the polar bear one, Robin, because that's like the greatest story. Next month, our challenge is going to be using off-camera lighting. So after we get some inspiration from Ben, the challenge will complement his presentation, and we're going to encourage folks to do some off-camera lighting, or it could even be flash, like maybe if it's on camera, but some lighting techniques. So not just natural, step outside the comfort.
That's going to be challenging.
Yeah, it is going to be challenging. We have a member, Stina, who doesn't come very often, but she does come, and she's very creative with her off-camera lighting. She'll usually a flashlight. Sometimes she'll just be flashing it on, or she'll take a bare bulb and stick it next to what she wants to illuminate, and she always gets some really creative, eclectic things. So
Cool.
yeah, I'll post some articles as well during the month to help people out, because it's definitely going to be a challenge for people. It's a good one though.
Yeah,
Dan
it will
say
be.
that Dan's had lighting equipment forever, and he's still barely using it, he said.
Yeah, post a bunch of articles so everyone learns everything, and I don't have to teach them anything.
Very funny. I I think that people will have lots of questions. For
Yeah, lighting is tough. Lighting is tough.
Mhm.
I have a hard enough time getting normal lighting with landscapes. Now I got to do off camera.
Those
Yeah.
are two things that rarely mix. Landscapes with extra lighting. It's
Unless
tough to
you want-
find a speed light that'll light up the mountain, you know.
But if you had taken the picture at the lake and you had used your phone or a flashlight and lit up the foreground
Mhm.
and then taken your picture of the sky, it would have given you a different picture. You would have had to have your shutter open for a little bit longer for you to peek in some light with your light.
We'll have to try that after that demonstration.
There you go. Worth a shot, right?
Yeah.
When you go to pick the dog up.
Yep. Currently passed out on my seat on the couch.
Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight.
Yep.
And sharing your warmth with us on this cold night, although it wasn't too cold today. 46, I think it was here, so that's not too bad. And just a reminder that our next month is the 11th on Tuesday. We apologize for the change of schedule, but we're going to be flexible and enjoy the presentation.
Mhm.
Forward to it.
Anybody have any questions?
Oh, there's the kitty cat.
Oh, and there's the kitty in front of the fire.
Uh,
Now we know you weren't making it up.
Whole thing was photoshopped.
AI. We did it with AI.
Thank you very much, Ben, for hosting again tonight.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
All right, night all.
Night all.
All right.
Good night.
Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Monique,
See you
night.
next month.
Monique,
night.
can I grab you for a second?
You sure can. Let me stop recording.